Hello everyone! It is Friday, April 1st. It is quite late. It's like 9 p.m? 8:30? 8:45. It's right between the two. And it's quite late. I'm absolutely pooped. This is not a good start to a vlog. I am exhausted. I look like a bit of a wreck. It has been a long, busy week. For many great reasons. I've been doing a load of amazing things. But that doesn't mean I'm any less tired. I'm very sleep deprived and I've been really busy on less sleep than normal, so I'm struggling. But anyway, it is Friday. It is the 1st of April, which means multiple exciting things. First and foremost, it means the beginning of Realmathon. This is a readathon created by Cassidy from Covers of Cassidy. I'll obviously link all the details down below. And I'm a co-host of this. I am the co-ruler of one of the realms called Serene. And basically, throughout April, I'm going to read books to help my realm either gain magic or to deplete the magic of the other realms. That's the concept. It's good fun. I'm very excited. Because of that, as you'll see in a minute, I'm going to be trying to read a decent bit of whimsical fantasy, but I don't have to. You can read whatever. I just like whimsical fantasy and thought it'd be good fun. The other thing this does mean, which I can't believe I'm saying, is it means it's the beginning of the magical readathon. How exactly I have ended up taking part in Magical Readathon, I'm not quite sure. Back when it was the Magical Readathon before, I kind of semi took part in it, but never really did it properly. It was too, much pressure, and I never did well at it, and I just never got around to it. And then I was thinking with the new version, I was like, right, let's get in from the beginning, let's do it. And then it started right last year in the worst part of my reading slump, when I was reading nothing. So I just didn't even consider it. I was like, we're not doing it, it's fine. And then I'd seen all these really long videos and there were loads of bits to it and it seemed really complicated and I was like, yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it, it's too much. And then today, having seen everyone's TBRs for the month, everyone talking about it, I was like, I wonder how complicated it actually is. It can't be that bad. So somehow I'm now doing Magical Readathon. I'm doing it in my normal kind of chill way. So I obviously didn't officially take part in either the Novice Path or the Gear Up, but what I've done is I've looked back at the books I've read in those times and I've fit them to the prompts as if I were taking part in them, because for me that's just the easiest way of doing it. So for anyone that knows Magical Readathon and understands all the lore, I'll get you up to speed with where I'm at. So my character is going to be an Earthling of the air element. Basically they were cool and had wings, so I'm going with that. I am from Kerador because it sounded fun, and I also wasn't sure where I was meant to be from, and that was the place where everyone can be from, so it was easy. And I am, for my guild, I'm in Order of the Crescent. I did the quiz for which order, and I just, out of interest, I wrote my first and my second answer for every single one, and it was hilarious to me. My first answers were split between Order of the Crescent and House of the Arcane, which is the mathsy one versus the elemental one, basically. So I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna go elemental. That ties in really nicely with my character. But hilariously, my second options, 5 out of 5 put me in, I think it's the Mind Walkers, or whatever that one is. So that was hilarious to me, but I have gone with the elemental one because it just fit my character so nicely. So that is my guild. And then for my calling, I'm still slightly torn. I'm tossing up a few. So I'm currently tossing up, what are they even called? Master of Elements, which is specific to the Order of the Crescent. I am tossing up the Lunar Warden, the Moon Warden, and also the Rift Architect. They all fit within the number of books I can read in a month. So I'm gonna do what I normally do. I'm gonna read, and then at the end of the month, I'll see which ones I fulfilled and make a call off that. I may also try and make sure I fulfilled the prompts for all 3 of them, because there's a huge amount of crossover. And that means when the prompts are revealed for August, for the next phase, if one of them's really hard, I have the backup. So that's roughly where we're at. The one other thing is my conduit is a bow. It just felt the most sensible with my character. I didn't technically complete the prompt, but I'm giving myself a pass on this because it was a week-long readathon, so I have barely any choices of books I read, and the prompt was so specific. It was with the word hunt in the title. What the hell? Who has that? But I want a bow, so I don't care. So what I'm going with is books I read one book I read just outside that week is Take a Hint, Danny Brown. That's one letter difference, I'm claiming it. And also earlier in February I read the second Crescent City book, which has Hunt Athalar as a character. So, Hunt. I don't even care, I want a bow, I'm having a bow. And then the other thing I have is an animal companion, or a familiar. And for this, you're meant to read a book with that animal in it. Again, I didn't really specifically have the prompts in mind, and that's quite specific, so I didn't read anything intentional. However, you can, if you can't find a book with like the exact animal, you can twist it. So I'm going with my animal familiar being like, I'm slightly torn, like an owl or a falcon, something bird-like. Again, wings, flying, air, all makes sense. And this is so bad. The book I'm going for this is Actor A.G. Brown, because there is significant mention of ducks and geese. That counts. It's close enough. Anyway, so I'm unofficially and casually doing Magical Readathon. I probably won't talk about it much again. I'm not going to talk about like what books I'm doing for what prompts, because I'm very much not doing it that formally. I'm going to do it chill and figure it out at the end of the month. But what am I planning to read, you might be wondering, because I've just talked a lot about what I'm not really planning. So as I said, I'm planning to read quite a lot of whimsical fantasy this month, and my plan, which I'm still going to hope is my plan, is to spend the first like week of this month, first 10 days, maybe till like end of next weekend, specifically reading whimsical fantasy, because I have a few of them that are pretty short that I really want to crack through, and they're books I really want to read. So those are going to be where I start. The first being Piranesi. This was going to be the first book I read, but honestly, I'm not sure I have the brain power to start it tonight, because it's weird, and I know it's weird, and that's fine. I like weird, but I'm very tired. So undecided whether I'm going to start this tonight. I kind of need to, because I'm meant to have it finished by Monday for a different thing. I don't think that's going to happen. So may or may not start this tonight, but Piranesi, know nothing about it, excited. I'm also going to read Seven Tears at High Tide. For anyone that watches or has watched my goals video for the year, this is one of the books I specifically need to read. So I want to get to this. It's definitely whimsical fantasy. It's again pretty short. It's also self-pub, which crosses off a prompt for bingo. And then finally we have The Queen of Eoflaria, which crosses off a Dart Attack prompt and a bingo prompt, and is a book I've just been really wanting to read for a long time. And this is Sapphic Fantasy with Dragons, and again, short. So these are like the three first books. They're all under 300 pages. I'm super excited for them. I think that's going to be like such a nice reading vibe. And as I said, I might start Piranesi tonight, but I may well start one of these because they're both way easier. The one other whimsical fantasy I'm considering reading, which I hadn't planned to. I've been planning to reread this book for ages, but not specifically now. And then India's reading it at the moment and made me want to read it like right now. $10,000 January. May not, don't know. It's a favourite. One of my prompts for Dart Attack is favourite author, so it would work. And then finally, this is not whimsical fantasy, but another book which has been kind of plaguing me and making me want to read it is Traitor's Blade by Sebastian de Castell. I started this over a year ago, got 100 pages in and put it down because it just wasn't in the mood for it. But I'm in the mood for it now, and I feel like it could potentially count for military fantasy, which is another bonus for Realmathon, and 100% counts as a Cassidy fave, which is also a bonus. So that might come up if I decide to not read whimsical. So we've got a lot of options, all of which I'm very excited for. I guess we will find out over the next while what I read. Other than that, what am I doing? Nothing. I have no plans. If the weather's nice, I might go out and go to some cafes, go do some nice stuff. The weather the last few days has been absolutely grim, so I don't want to go outside. This is a very long first clip. I'm going to shut the hell up and go read. Speak to you soon. Hello. I was intending to update you much earlier today. It is Saturday. But you know, sometimes it doesn't happen. So I am reading Piranesi. I think where I left off last night, I wasn't sure if I was going to read this because I wasn't sure I had the brain power. I decided to put a poll up on my Instagram of this, Queen of Eoflaria, and 7 Tears at High Tide, and say to people like, which should I read? And I even semi-subconsciously, semi-consciously skewed the options to make the others look better. So I said Sapphics with Dragons, like highly anticipated YA with Selkies or something like that. And I said intimidating but anticipated. And over 50% of you voted for Piranesi, so you're all holding me to account, thanks. So I made myself start this yesterday. Definitely not as intimidating as I was expecting. I read 50 pages yesterday. The first like 5 to 10 make no sense because it launches you right in. This is told in diary entries, which is really interesting. And so you're just seeing this person's perspective. You don't know the world, you don't know what they're talking about, but they're talking about it like you would because they know it. So it makes no sense. And then you gradually pick up the context. I am now 160 pages in, so I've only got like 80 pages left, which is pretty cool. I should finish it today. And I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm so intrigued, so many mysteries I want to know the answers to. This has more dark academia, thriller, mystery, fantasy vibes than what I expected. And I'm so here for it. I'm loving it, honestly. It's not like a 5-star, I don't think. I don't know quite why it's not giving me the like, oh my god. But like, I'm truly enjoying it. It's at least heading towards like a 4.5. So that's good fun. So I read a bit of that this morning, and then I went to the gym. First time in the gym in like, it's just started raining. That's grim. First time in the gym for like 3 and a bit weeks, because I had COVID and obviously couldn't go outside. And then this week I've been too busy and not been home, so I couldn't go to the gym. So it was the first session back in a long time, and obviously I've been pretty ill in that time with COVID, and holy shit was it hard. I obviously will have lost some fitness in that time. I've been sat doing nothing for 3 weeks, and I literally mean sat doing nothing, so I couldn't go outside for 2 of those weeks, and my flat is not big, so I couldn't move at all, and therefore my cardiovascular health is going to severely decline, and that's understandable. But I do also think there's a bit of an aftermath of COVID in it, just in terms of like how quick my recovery is in terms of like getting my breath back. We did some much lighter weight work. Normally I've been doing proper like weightlifting, and this time we did like way less of that, but therefore some of it was slightly more HIIT focused, which is obviously much more cardio intensive, and oh my god, it almost killed me. But I trust my trainer, so a few times I said to her like, yeah, no, I'm sitting down for 5 minutes because I can't do this. Actually, about halfway, 2/3 the way through the session, I did say to her like, gonna sit down for 5-10 minutes, but I might actually call the session here and just say, I'm only having half an hour today, I'm going home, because I felt like I was gonna throw up. And then we just realized that it's fine. We'll do the sets with much bigger breaks in between, so I have all the chances to get my breath back. We'll do much slower exercises so I can concentrate on my breathing whilst doing them, so I'm making sure to get enough oxygen. And it ended up being fine, but it was hard, which is like frustrating. I was making so much progress, and now it's all gone, and I'm gonna have to start from scratch, but such is life. Should be quicker to get it back than it was to build it the first time, so it'll be fine. But then I came home, had loads of stuff that I wanted to get done, and I have done some of the key bits, so I'm not mad. But then I remembered, like, it's a weekend. I'm also allowed to just sit and do not a lot of anything. So I did that for 3 hours. And then I read a bit more, and now I'm about to go on sprints. Rye from Rye's Reading Corner is doing sprints for, well, I say for Team Serene, not specifically for Team Serene, for Realmathon. But obviously we're the 2 rulers of Team Serene, so we're both going to go on and hype our realm. And that's about it. I'm going to finish this today. I'm probably going to pick up the Aflaria next. That's it. That's all I've been up to. All I've done today is the gym and a tiny bit of whatever-thon planning. I have been having a very fun time. This is not relevant, but I'm obviously getting hyped for whatever-thon. The announcement's going up in like a month, and then the readathon starts in like 2 months, which is scary soon with the amount I've still got to prep for it, aka pretty much everything. And anyway, I was watching Meg from 12 Books a Day. She just posted her first video in a few months, and I was watching it, and in it she had Chloe from Persistent Bookworm do her TBR for her, and it was using Chloe's TBR game, which I've not seen before, so I've now been binge watching the videos of her TBR game. Whenever I find a new one, I watch like every version of it from the TBRs years ago because I enjoy them. And she did a whatever-thon TBR last year, and I'm just watching it and it's got me so excited. So I can't wait. I need to make some fucking planning and get my life in order for it, but I'm hyped. Very, very hyped for it. Hello, so it's a little bit later. I'm now on sprints. It's currently 7:45, and I have finished Piranesi. Woo woo! First book for Realmathon complete. I've given this a 4.5. I really liked this. It was bordering a 5. I was undecided, but Corpal put it at 4.5, which I think is probably right. Like, nothing was quite like perfect. I was not giving things 10s, but like pretty much 9s across the board. So very solid 4.5. I very much enjoyed it. really interesting. Much more like, not thriller, but like mystery, as I said, dark academia vibes than anything else, which is just not what I expected, but I really enjoyed it. This is, as I said, my first book for Realmathon. I've just gone through the prompts and worked out what I can do with it, and I managed to get minus 21 points for attack, and I think I chose to attack a Skarner. With my attacks, I'll probably alternate who I attack, so that's good fun. Attacking a Skarner, 21 points, not bad. I did do 5 prompts for it, so I'm very happy with that. I am now going on to my next read, and I can't decide whether I want to do Queen of Eoflaria or 7 Tears at High Tide. I'm leaning towards Queen of Eoflaria. I'm considering asking the sprints which one I should read. Like, they're gonna say this, no question, because we have Sapphic Romance of the Dragons or like queer YA fantasy, so they're gonna say Sapphic Fantasy with Dragons. I just know they will. So I think I'm just gonna go with this, to be honest. I really fancy reading this, and it will help me with bingo. The other one would as well, to be fair, but this will help me with bingo, and I want to do some bingo prompts because I have so few left. I've not ticked any off in forever, and I really want to. But I'm also going to spend the next sprint cooking some dinner. It's obviously very late for dinner, but with the gym in the middle of the day, I've eaten meals already went times today, and I'm hungry. So I'm going to cook dinner, and I'm going to read, and that's it. I won't finish that tonight because it's already 8 PM. But I might be able to get like 100 pages in, meaning I can finish it tomorrow, because I think it's only like 180, 170. So I might be able to have this finished by the weekend as well, though I've got stuff to do tomorrow, so we'll see. Hello, hello. It is Sunday morning. I am in bed. As you can probably tell, it does not look like I've just woken up. I'm not going to try and do what films do and be like, this is how I look when I wake up. Obviously the fuck not. I have got up, filmed the video, and I'm now back in bed because I have half an hour until I have to go to the gym and I want to read. So we are back in bed. I am obviously reading Queen of Eoflaria, as I think I said last night would be my next read. I got to page 54 yesterday, so about a third of the way through. I love this book. I remembered that it was like arranged marriage, like unexpected between royalty kind of thing, but I had completely forgotten that we have one of the people who is like, oh, an arranged marriage, that's perfect, that's just what I want in my life, that's what I have to do, the duty to my kingdom. And the other who's like out partying, being crazy and not like the princess she should be, who's like doing everything she can to get out of this marriage, but is like very slowly realizing that maybe she doesn't want out of this marriage. It's so good. I know everyone at the moment is being like, read this if you like Bridgerton, but if you want Bridgerton with a hint of fantasy, this is honestly giving me kind of similar vibes, especially with the whole like some for arranged marriage, some against it. I'm having a great time. I have half an hour to read, so I'm not going to chat to you for long because I want to use that half an hour to read. But I will catch up with you later, quite possibly when I've finished the video. Video? Book. I'm so tired. Hello. Interesting lighting, and this is going to be a super quick update. Sorry I look ratty. I've got off an online dance rehearsal and I'm warm and I'm about to go on sprints, hence being quick. But it is Monday. I never know what day of the week it is. It's Monday. I did finish reading The Queen of Eoflaria yesterday. 5 stars. I love that book so much. It's so much fun. I think I said I forgot some of the tropes in it, but it is such a like, it's not slow burn, it's only 170 pages, but it's like the slow realization that you're acting because of someone else's benefit, but it couldn't possibly be because you like them. It's so good, I love it. And then the final scene in the book, I obviously won't spoil, but is the cutest fucking thing in the world, and I was obsessed with it. I remembered it from when I first read it, and it's adorable again. And last time I read this book, I decided not to continue with the series because I'd heard that the other books in the series followed other characters in like other places, and I was like, frankly, I just want to see these characters again. However, I actually read the blurbs because I own the second and third book, and the second book does follow a different character in a different place. The third book comes back to those main characters. So not right now, but in the very near future, potentially this month, depending on, you know, what else I have time to read, I'm going to continue the series and I'm very excited. But for now, I'm reading 7 Tears at High Tide. Started this yesterday, only read 20 pages. Would love to make a bit of a dent in it tonight. It's around the 220 page mark. As I said, about to go on sprints, so maybe I can get through, I'm probably going to save like 3 sprints, so maybe like 100-ish pages, then I can finish this tomorrow. And then I can spend the rest of the week reading The 10,000 Doors of January, which I'm very, very excited about. And then once I've done that, it'll probably be the 48-hour readathon, which is going to be a whole separate video. But anyway, I'm meant to be on sprints in 5 minutes time. This is what I'm reading. Very brief blurb. This is by C.B. Lee, who I love, an Asian American author who is queer, so own voices to everything. And this is following a guy called Kevin, who has just got broken up with by a guy he wasn't really dating. He kind of thought he was. The other guy has broken up with him by saying, like, dude, we were never dating, what were you thinking? And he remembers a myth from his mother where if he cries 7 tears into the sea, he can make a wish. And he has done that, and his wish is about to be granted in the form of Selkie, who we have met. I think it's going to be really interesting. As I said, only 20 pages in, but it's reading nicely so far. I've loved C.B. Lee's books before, so I'm excited. This is whimsical fantasy, obviously, Selkies. And also, this is one of my 3 books I have to read in 2022, or I have to unhaul it. So glad to get one of them done so I can stop stressing about it, especially as I've been meaning to read this since I bought it in, I'm guessing, 2019, because I got it from Gaze the Word, and I've not been there since 2019. So I've had it for a hot minute. I'm excited. Hopefully I'll make some progress with it tonight. I'll try and give you an update if I do. But yeah, this is next on the agenda. Oh, and I think I got like 20-something points again with Queen of Eoflaria. I attacked Kalamis this time. I wanted to do defense, but one of the prompts for attack was dragons, and it's a whole book based around dragons, so I felt like I had to, so I went with that. No idea what I'll do for points for this one yet. Hello. It is Tuesday evening. Sorry if I'm looking a little bit rough. Didn't get the best sleep last night, and I've been to the gym, and you know. But it is Tuesday evening. I've just finished work for the day. My laptop is still binging at me. I wonder who wants something. But I finished work for the day, so I'm about to make some dinner, and then I'm going to go on sprints with Christy later and read. But I thought I'd quickly update you on my reading, because don't ask me how. I read all of this yesterday. I didn't expect to at all. I was going on sprints yesterday evening with Cass and thought I'd read maybe 100 pages, which I think is what I said. And I didn't even read for the first 2 sprints because I was distracted doing whatever-thon stuff. And then somehow or another, I did finish the entire book. Probably part of the reason I stayed up far too late, because it was really, really, really good. Not quite a 5-star, but like the most solid 4.5 ever. Incredible. More people need to read this book. I don't know if I gave a synopsis of it. If I did, I'll cut this section. If I didn't, this is the synopsis. So this follows Kevin, who's really sad after a big breakup, and I've definitely given a synopsis for this. And he remembers a tale, his mother told him where if you cry 7 tears into the sea, it basically grants you a wish. And he wishes for someone to spend the summer with and for him to love and for them to love him. And that is granted in the form of a Selkie who comes and spends time with him. And it was so interesting. There were so many bits to it. It's queer. God, it was just so good. It was so interesting. Considering the length, it had so much more plot than I expected. Like, plot things that I assumed were going to happen right at the end happened about halfway through. There was like family dynamics and friendships and finding yourself and obviously romance and magic and danger, and it was so good. Highly, highly recommend this book. Like, so much. And I have no idea what it's going to score me for Realmathon yet because I finished it late last night and I haven't had time during the day today to figure it out because I've been working. So loved it. Fantastic. This is my 3rd book of the month. What? Why is my laptop being loud? Yeah, it's my 3rd whimsical fantasy so far, which is insane. Didn't think I'd be reading this much in the first 4 days of the month. But the next book I'm picking up is going to take me a little bit longer to read because it's definitely chunkier than the 200-page books I've been reading at around 400 pages. The 10,000 Doors of January! I'm so excited. This, for anyone that doesn't know, is one of my favourite books of all time. I read it in like September of 2019 and adored it, and it's been a favourite ever since. And ever since then, I've been planning to reread it. It has been 2.5 years and I've not yet, and I keep meaning to, and I keep putting it off and being like, I need all the time, I need to annotate it, I need to like make the most of it because it's so good, yada yada yada. And I was kind of considering it in this month, but not really, until India read it last week, and I was on sprints with her whilst she was reading it and talking about it, and it made me just be like, oh, okay, yeah, I need to reread it. And then even today, I was like, maybe not, maybe I don't know. And I read literally the first page and a half, not even that much, like maybe a page, and was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna reread it. It's so beautiful. So this is what I'm reading next. This is another whimsical fantasy, kind of portal fantasy historical, following January, who is in effect an orphan. She is cared for by like some person who knew her father, and she finds this journal with stories in it, and I honestly can't remember more than that, and I don't want to know because I just want to read it fresh because I love it. And I was thinking to myself, like, take all the pressure off, just don't tab it, you don't need to annotate it, just enjoy. And then I read 3 lines and I was like, yeah, I need tabs. So I'll be reading this on sprints tonight and tabbing. It's basically the plan. Hoping might be able to get it done by Friday, and then I can start different books for the 48-hour readathon happening this weekend. But that is like 100 pages a day, and I remember last time I read this I found it quite taxing to get through, and I have quite a lot of other stuff to do this week. So we'll see, but yeah, that's basically where we're at. I'm gonna go eat dinner and read on sprints and maybe do some more READATHON stuff again. But that's about it. Hello. Ignore how I look. I don't even know if this vlog clip is gonna make it into the vlog because I do not look good. It is Friday evening. I am unreasonably tired. It has been a very hard week and next week's gonna be interesting as well. But I'm pooped. But I thought I'd do a really quick reading update because I don't have a good or useful update, but I have started just a lot of books. It's been a bit chaotic. I don't know when I last spoke to you. I feel like it was when I decided to pick up $10,000 of January, which I think was Tuesday. And I ended up reading only 20 pages of this because I had to start some design work for READATHON, which I then spent the entirety of Tuesday and Wednesday evenings doing. I say that, Tuesday evening I spent a lot of it chatting to Christy and Sandra because we went onto a backstage after sprints and were chatting for way too long. We kept trying to go to bed and failing. But anyway, so I only got 20 pages into this, and then with everything going on in my life to do with work, I was just like, I'm too brain dead to read this right now. Like, I really want to, and potential could pick it back up this weekend, but honestly, I have from Friday next week till Wednesday the week after off, so I'm probably gonna read it then when I can properly enjoy it, instead of trying to cram it into a weekend. So, because I wasn't reading that, I decided to start Darius the Great is Not Okay, because this is Hannah from Clockwork Reader's favourite of last year, and therefore works for my Dark Star Promo favourite of last year. It's definitely not whimsical fantasy, but, you know, it works. And I've read 22 pages of this, which I read on Wednesday night. I then didn't read yesterday because I was busy, and then lordy me, on my train home today from work, I had a bit of time to read, which is great. But on my train home from work today, I stored my suitcase, went and sat down on a really busy train, and then realised my book was in my suitcase, like the intelligent person that I am. And so I couldn't read it. And so I, you know, went on Kindle on my phone and I picked up a book which I can't remember the name of now. What was it called? Oh, I'm so tired. It's 9 PM and I'm dead. It was called Glorious by Cameron James, which I think I came across when I was looking for books featuring polyamory, and this is looking like it's going to go in that direction. I don't know whether it's a YA or new adult or adult. It's following a 17-year-old, but the conversations feel a bit more adult maybe. But I don't know, but it's good fun. It's following, I have no idea the main character's name, Elijah, who is trans, and what the reason I got pulled into it and was intrigued by it is because Elijah is a ballet dancer and has been a ballet dancer in his entire life, and therefore learned how to go on point because, you know, transitions to, you know, age 14, realised that's when they needed to transition. So had learned point work before then, as female ballet dancers are, you know, traditionally taught, and now is doing like 2 guys doing dances together, but Elijah's on point. Like, incredible. Ultimate, my favourite kind of ballet. So I'm loving that side of it. There's also definitely a polyamory theme coming in. Elijah is exploring the possibility of polyamory and that being something he's interested in and is appealing to him. It's just good fun. I read 46 pages, it's only 200 and a bit long, so good fun. So I could continue that, but it is the Realmathon 48-hour readathon this weekend, and I have a busy weekend. I'm not gonna have time to do it as much as I wanted to, which is a real shame. I wanted to read like 2 or 3 books this weekend, but you know, things crop up, life happens. But I kind of want to read Traitor's Blade for it anyway. I would start this again from the beginning. For anyone that remembers, I did start this last year, like February last year, and then didn't finish it. This is a Cassidy fave. It is military fantasy. It's just gonna hit so many prompts, and it'll be so fun getting like an insane number of points for this book. So like, I kind of really want to read it, and I'm kind of in the mood for it, and I think I could read 400 pages in like 2 days, potentially. So I don't know. I will read one of these or Glorious. I don't know what yet. I'll decide probably tomorrow, so I'm gonna go straight to sleep. I'll let you know. Chaos. Chaos is what is going on with my reading at the moment. I've started 4 books. I've started 3. I'm about to start a 4th book potentially, and still have no idea what I want to read or what I'm going to read. Send help. Hello, that's interesting. So it is Saturday. It's like 2 p.m-ish, I think. I'm just back from the gym. I'm pooped. I was meant to be doing loads of errands in town this afternoon after the gym. I said loads of errands. I basically just need to buy some work clothes because I don't have any that fit me, and I really, really need some. But town was so fucking busy. I just couldn't face it. So I'm gonna go early tomorrow. I say early, like 11, because that's when everything opens, but hopefully it'll be much, much quieter. But thought I'd do a very, very brief reading update. Not read much. Still being very indecisive about what I want to read. But I also realised I completely forgot to show you some posts I got yesterday, and I got some very exciting posts yesterday. So let's show that off. So firstly, I got the Daisy and Bee Spring Collection bookmarks. So there's 4 designs here. I'll link Daisy and Bee down below. This is Jade and Steph's, who I'll link them as well. Bookmark shop, or like Etsy shop, does other stuff as well. And we have the new spring design. So we've got some wellies, which are just adorable, especially with the ladybugs. We have a frog, who I love. He is cute as hell. We have some strawberries and cream, which is very spring summery. And probably my favorite, just because of the color scheme, is the peaches. I just love it. So big fan of these, really excited to have those. But not to be rude to Steph and Jade, possibly the more exciting book mail, Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. I read Love Hypothesis last year, like everyone else did, and absolutely adored it. And this is not the sequel, Ali Hazelwood's next book, but it feels like kind of, I don't think it's a companion, I don't think it follows any of the same characters, but it has the same vibes very much as the Love Hypothesis. And I'm super excited, and I've been lucky enough to get an arc of this sent to me by Little Brown. I'm just so damn excited. I don't know when I'm gonna read this, probably soon. I'm already being indecisive about what I read this weekend. The temptation to just pick this up is unreal. I'm also really excited to have the arc, because you can see the finished copy on the pub sheet has a pink cover, and I'm not a pink person, so like navy blue, love it. The spine is very pink though. But yeah, this comes out in August. I don't even know. I think this has an astrophysicist in it, I'm guessing. Bee lives by a simple code. What would Marie Curie do? If NASA offered her the lead of a neuroengineering program, a little dream come true after years of scraping by on crumbs of academia, Marie would accept without hesitation. But the mother of modern physics never had to co-lead with Levi Ward. Ooh, this sounds like it might be like enemies to lovers. Levi made his feelings towards Bee very clear in grad school. Arch enemies work best employed in their own galaxies. Oh, I'm excited. So yeah, this is definitely gonna be like space related, which I'm hyped for, because I love space and physics and all of that. I'm excited. So this morning I read some of Glorious. Is that what it's called? Yeah, I think so. I'll put the cover on the screen. I'm enjoying the story. I'm pretty sure it's self-pub, which is fine. I've read a load of self-pub. There's one really tiny thing which is just irking me beyond belief, and I'm like, keep trying to ignore it, because like I don't want to criticize a self-pub book or something like this. It's not fair, and like it's a good book and I am enjoying it, but it's really throwing me off. And that's when, at least in books I've read, when a word is written in italics, it normally means like emphasis on that word. So if you're trying to like, I didn't really mean it, then you'd put that really in italics. And like, this is normally, at least in TradPub, used really sparingly. And so it, like, when I read, I therefore put like an exceeding amount of emphasis on that. And like, that sounds weird because I'm reading in my head, but I really, really notice it and like read it, especially when it's in dialogue like that. And this has emphasis on the weirdest words, and it's like every other sentence. And like, sometimes I'm like confused because often they do that when it's not clear where the emphasis is meant to fall in a sentence. There's a fun thing I'm sure many of you would have seen before, which is the sentence like, I didn't say I killed him, or I didn't say she took my money, whatever, something like that, where if you put emphasis on a different word, it completely changes the meaning of the sentence. So sometimes it is necessary when you have something written to show where the emphasis goes because it genuinely changes the meaning. And so with some of these, when I'm like really jarred where the emphasis is, I'm like, oh, I'll reread the sentence, maybe I put the emphasis in the wrong place. But I can't make them make sense. And it's just, I keep trying to just not read it with emphasis when I see it, but I can't do it. So that's taking me out of the story a bit, but it is good fun. I'm like 40%, I think, in, something like that. 41%. So I'm kind of tempted to just try and spend like 2 hours and get this finished and then move on to something else. But I also just feel like this is more of a like in bed later book, and I should use the time now when I'm really awake to read something else, maybe like Traitor's Blade or the book I'm already in the middle of, or Love on the Brain. I don't know. Help. I know I said this yesterday, but I'm so stuck with what to read at the moment. I'm struggling. But that's where we're at. Hopefully I'll make a decision and read something, because my other option is not reading anything, which is what I'm concerned will end up happening, but gonna do my best. Hello, so it's, I don't know, 10:30 on Saturday. I have just finished reading Glorious by Cameron James. It is the only book I finished today. I didn't read as much as I intended because I started watching Friends, and I was gonna watch like one episode for dinner, and like 5 hours later, I'd finally finished my rewatch. I love Friends so much. I know if it was made today, it has some content which just is not okay, but like of its time, it was pretty progressive. There's definitely some jokes in there that are misogynistic and a bit homophobic and a bit everything. And yeah, I know. Overall though, it is just ultimate found family vibes, and I adore it with my whole heart. And I haven't rewatched the entire thing since I was about 16. Unintentionally started doing it in December whilst wrapping everyone's Christmas presents, and 4 months later I have rewatched all 10 seasons. And yeah, I got to the point today, I know this show so well that although I don't know like what happens in what season because there's so much of it, I know what plot points are coming up, and I'd got to the point where I had like 10 episodes left, and I was like, I know all the stuff that's about to happen. I don't know in what order exactly, but I know it's all going to happen, so I just have to keep watching now. I just have to see it out to the end. And I'm glad I did. It was good. I cried so much. I love it. But then I just finished reading Glorious, which I'm so struggling to rate. Because the story, the representation, all of that, amazing. Top notch. Love it. It was queer as hell. Main character is trans, and also like loads of other queer characters. The main character is also discovering and exploring polyamory. Like, oh god, I just love it, and I'm so glad books like this being made. But I have so many critiques of the writing, and I feel like an asshole for critiquing the writing because, as I said, it's self-pub and they probably didn't have like a proper editor and things like that, and that's completely valid. And I don't want to say to someone like, your book is bad because of like writing things, but also the writing was jarring at times and did make me enjoy it less, but I feel like a dick because it's such an important self-pub queer book. But like, I don't feel like I can give it above a 3.5 because of the writing, but I don't want to give it a 3.5. I want people to read it because it's really good if you just ignore some of the writing. And like, I mean, there's nothing awful about it. It's fine. There's a few typos and stuff which I don't care about. But as I said, there's the weird emphasis thing. There's certain phrases, which to be honest, I feel like stereotypes, people do this as well, but there's certain phrases which they just reuse so many times, and I can't deal with it when it's so often that I'm like waiting for it to happen, especially you have like twice on a page sometimes. But again, big authors do that sometimes. I'm trying to think what else. There were just a lot of bits that were not like hard to follow as such, but were just a bit clumsily written, so it took a couple reads for it to make sense for me to follow like who was doing, saying what. So I mean, it wasn't bad, it was just not great, and it was a level of not great that took me out of the story a bit, which was frustrating. But I don't know what I'm going to rate it, because I think I will be the first rating on Goodreads, so I really don't want to give it below 4. I think normally I round down, I'm going to round up on this one because I want to. I think it does deserve it. The story it's telling, I think, absolutely deserves to be a 4 upwards. What was I going to say? I had something else to say and it's gone. Oh yeah, the one other kind of weird thing was I think it's set approximately 20 years in the future. But as far as I know, it didn't say this at any point, like, at all. It actually, it's possibly even more than 20 years, but it's really weird because it was 100% our world as we know it with no differences. But then the main character, who's, you know, just turning 18 in this book, was talking about how his parents first met and they added each other on Instagram and Snapchat. And I was like, what? Like, I know I'm 5 years older, but my parents were many eras before. I was around for the creation of Instagram and Snapchat. Like, that doesn't add up. That would mean his parents had to be, like, my age in this era. So I was like, okay, so if I was, you know, old enough to have, you know, met someone, got married, have an 18-year-old kid, it's a way in the future. And then later he was like, that's from the 90s, like my grandparents. And I was like, excuse the fuck me? So there's a bit of a weird time thing going on. I think it's set a bit in the future, but also it's not, because like nothing's different from today. And I'm not saying you need like crazy speculative stuff going on, but like nothing was different at all. Like at all. And I don't think there needed to be different technology things. It's a contemporary story, not about that at all. But like, why set it in the future then? I don't know. It just confused me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. It seemed like a really odd choice given the complete pointlessness of it. I don't know. Anyway, I finished reading it. I'm very tired. Do I know what I'm gonna read now? No. Because whatever I start reading, I probably need to try and finish tomorrow, because I'm not going to be able to read all week. And I don't want to read Darius the Great, even though I was really looking forward to it, because I've just read another contemporary and I don't like reading two of the exact same thing back to back. I don't really want to start a romance because I probably won't have enough time to read it all tomorrow. I won't have enough time to start read anything tomorrow. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm struggling. I'm very, 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 very tired. If you want proof of how tired I am, I put this jumper on after the gym. Like 1:30. I discovered about 20 minutes ago that I had it on backwards. I'm struggling. I'm gonna go see if I have like a novella or a graphic novel that I can read tomorrow. I'm gonna do like maybe one more clip tomorrow and we're gonna call this vlog done. We're going back into the hellscape that is my work. I've had it easy the last month and it's about to get hard again, and I'm very, very stressed about this fact that I'm not sleeping because I'm very nervous. Because my life is about to get interesting again and I don't have time for it. Hello, it is Sunday. Sunday afternoon. I was really hoping I'd be able to tell you by now what I'm gonna read. But somehow the indecision has actually resulted in even more books. It's getting stupid. I have like 5 books next to me. The one thing I can say is I have read The Drowned by Laini Taylor and Jim DiBartolo. This is a little graphic novel they did together. I didn't love it. It was okay. It didn't actually do a whole lot for me. It's just a little 80-page graphic novel. It was fine. It was meant to be horror-y. I just kind of didn't care. Like a 3-star. It was fine. It was good enough. Wasn't special, but it does tick off a DART attack prompt, so can't complain. And it also works for Magical Readathon for under 100 pages, which I was going to struggle to fulfill. So it takes things off. It's useful. And now you decide what the hell I'm going to read next. I did consider rereading Silver in the Wood so I could read the sequel. That felt like an option. You know, it's really short. I could possibly get through it today. But like, do I need to be adding books to my TBR right now? Probably not. I do have an option, which I'm very much considering, which is Darwin's Dragons. This is a middle grade, and I do have to read a middle grade for bingo. And also for Magical Readathon, one of the prompts I've been struggling with is a book with animal with claws on the cover, and obviously dragons have little claws, so that works. It does tick off some things that I need to tick off. I've had it for a while, it looks super cute. It's following someone who was on the boat with Darwin. I mean, not actually someone, but a kid who's on the boat with Darwin when he goes to like explore the Galapagos in his, you know, big famous, it's his adventure, you know what I mean, expedition. And I think this kid like goes onto an island and gets washed up somewhere and discovers dragons. So it sounds cute as hell. I could probably read this today. It's 300 pages, but it's middle grade, so it's probably really quick. And it looks cute and like it ticks things off. So I'm really thinking I might just go with this, to be honest. Cause like, it's cute. I feel like I should finish this. I feel like I should be reading this. I have other books I want to read. I'm struggling. I'm in a really weird position of both I want to read everything, but I don't want to read anything enough to actually pick it up. I'm gonna go with Darwin's Dragons. This is the one that I keep not doing, but it's the most like one that's calling to me. So I'm gonna try this and I'll try and update you with how I'm getting on with it. But I do have to go to the gym in like an hour and a bit. And I need to eat before then, so I probably won't read very much of this before the gym, and then I do have a lot of admin to do when I get home, but hopefully I can get through this anyway, somehow. Hello, it is Sunday evening. My hair is bugging me. That's not better. It is Sunday evening. It is around about 8:30, 20 to 9, somewhere there. My hair's really pissing me off. 1 minute. Okay, not sure that's better, but it's what we're going with. As I said, 8:30, 20 to 9, Sunday evening. I think the last time I updated you, I was just about to start Darwin's Dragons, which was like a little bit before I was going to the gym. I completely forgot to mention I'd been out and done all my errands this morning because I'm amazing. No, because I had to. But I wanted to show you, I got a really cute new pair of socks, and they have clouds on them, and I love them. And that was not an elegant position. What am I doing this evening? But anyway, since coming back from the gym, which was a very good gym session, it's been a good weekend of gym sessions, I done all the admin I need to do. I've got my trains booked, got my hotels booked, I've packed, all ready for work tomorrow. Need to get back into the routine of doing this. It has been a while since I've had to do this, especially as where I was on a project before, I didn't have to book hotels. There was just accommodation I could stay in, so more admin that I have to remember to do, which is fun. But I really want to finish this tonight, partially because I just want to finish another book this weekend. Partially, I do not want to be taking 3 books with me to site. I'm going to be taking 2, and that is enough. So I want to finish this tonight. I have 240 pages left, I think. Maybe even less than that, honestly. Because it has like a character list in the back. So I've got around 220, 230 pages left of this, and I can read around about 2 pages a minute. So I expect about 2 hours of reading left, if not less. Which is perfect, because I want to go to bed around 10:30. So I'm basically going to sit for 2 hours, hopefully, and just read. I am enjoying this so far. I'm 60 pages in. It's really good fun. The main character, who I don't know their name, Sims, has been stranded on this island, and currently it's being befriended by a little dragon, and it's adorable, and I'm really intrigued to see where it goes. Yeah, not a lot else has happened yet. I have one complaint with the language, but I think it's a middle grade thing that I need to cope with if this book is set in the 1800s, because it's, you know, Charles Darwin, and oh my god, most of it doesn't really care that it's in the 1800s, it's just written normally, which, fine by me. But then every so often the author clearly wants to make the point that this kid is like from a working class background in London in the 1800s. So it's like the odd word they change and the way they do it, which I feel like most people will be quite familiar with, is they take the ly off of adjectives. Adjectives, adverbs. Adjectives. No idea. But they take, so it's like, oh, he's awful nice, oh, that's terrible good, instead of awfully nice, terribly good. Like, it's so annoying because that is the only language thing they're doing to make it like scene setting, and it sticks out like a sore thumb. But anyway, I don't care that much. It's just every time I read it, I'm like, is that necessary? Why are we doing this? But anyway, gonna keep reading. Hopefully in 2 hours I'll do a very quick update saying I've finished this, telling you which books I'm taking to site, and then I'm gonna go to bed because I have a very early start tomorrow. Okay, so it is almost exactly 2 hours later. It is 10:45, so definitely very much bedtime. I finished Darwin's Dragons. I really enjoyed this. I'm not always someone who loves middle grade. There's a lot of them, I can't be asked to hold it up, I'm too tired. There's a lot of them I've not really enjoyed over the years. But this, as I suspected, is like, if I'm gonna like a middle grade, this is what it's gonna be. It's about, you know, Darwin and his expeditions, and I grew up being obsessed with Darwin and evolution and all of that. And it's dragons and like light fantasy. It's like dragon companions, massive Toothless and Hiccup vibes from How to Train Your Dragon. Good vibes all around, greatly enjoyed. Love it. Gave it 4 stars. Big fan. Only other thing to update you on is the books that I'm going to take with me to work. I'm only away for 4 days, so I'm not expecting to read both of these at all, but they're the books I'm going to take as options. First, Darius the Great is Not Okay. I mentioned this one the other day. I'm 20 pages into it, so I need to continue it. And then Traitor's Blade. I'm technically 100 pages into this, though, like, I'm not, because that was a very long time ago, as in well over a year now, so I'm going to start again from the beginning. But these are the 2 books for this week that I'm going to pick one of. Probably Darius first, I'd imagine, especially as I'm going to be very tired over the next few days, and then hopefully can pick this up after that. Also, I realised I said that this vlog was going to be stopping for the weekend, and then I said it was going to stop after the weekend. It's now extending through to like Thursday next week, and then I'll probably do a separate vlog for the Easter weekend because I've got some days off work, so I have like 6 days to read a crap ton, and I want to vlog that, so hopefully we'll do a lot with it. But there probably won't be many updates before next Thursday. Like, I'm not taking my camera with me to work, so I'm not expecting to film anything in the next 4 days. But hopefully I'll come back in 4 days with a reading update. We'll see. Hello. It is Maddie from the future. It has been a lot longer than 4 days. I read none of the books I was planning to read. But this is going to be the end of this vlog. As you will see, I was struggling that week, and I didn't vlog at all until the bank holiday weekend started, which is going to be a whole other vlog, which you will see very soon. But yes, apologies, the vlog is ending here. It's already far long enough, and I considered not putting it up, but I'd filmed so many clips, and I did read some books I really wanted to include the clips for. So if you made it all the way to the end, thanks. Post a, what are we gonna go with? A little water droplet emoji for Team Serene for Realmathon, because this is technically my first Realmathon vlog, though it just descended into pure anarchy of me not knowing what to read and having a bit of a struggle. But that is it for the video. Thanks again to anyone who actually watched it all the way to the end, and I'm so sorry that you had to watch me die very slowly. But as you can see, I'm doing much better. I'm 4, 5, 6, maybe even 6 days into some time off, so, you know, I just needed a break, and I've had it now. But expect much cheerier videos going forwards, not so much of the chaos. But that's it, that video. Please give it a thumbs up, even if you don't want it because it was long. Comment down below how your first few weeks went, hopefully better than mine. And yeah, that's about it. So bye, and I'll see you in the next one.